Time for Legally Steal, hosted by S.E. Day. To be on the show this morning, call 1-866-826-1340 or 727-441-3000. Now here's S.E. Day.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. It's Saturday morning, February the something, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 4th. February the 4th. No, I was not drinking last night. Just up at 3:30 because I got something going on within my head. I don't know if it's a business complex or something, but if I go to sleep at 10 o'clock, I wake up at 3 o'clock. What do you think that is, Bill?
Sounds like you need a good night's sleep.
Okay, Bill, I thought that was a good night's sleep. I've been doing it for nearly 20 years since I left the military, so it's affected me. And, of course, when my eyes popped open at 3:30 this morning, what the hell was I thinking about? I don't know. I saw visions of little studio people running around in my head and trying to make deals. I have no idea. But good morning. We have an exciting show for you today. This month, the month of February, I am dedicating to women of influence. And we have some powerful women of influence around the Tampa Bay area, but also across the nation. Now, one of the things that we look at as to make a person a woman of influence is someone who's handling their business, preferably for me, in a male-dominated industry. So we have a special guest in the studio for you today. We're bringing on about 15 past, but she is a lady. And she's here with her husband, who's here from World Support. Okay. But she is handling her business. It's an industry. It's 40 plus years old. Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair. And our special guest is Mrs. Tina Denham. And we're going to talk to her about how she is changing the industry as I would say, self-proclaimed pretty girl. But she is a pretty girl. I mean, yeah, her husband is here. Calm down. Stop swinging at the camera. All right. All right. Good things are happening around the country. The unemployment rate has dropped, or employment rate has dropped. One of the ways you said, but I think it's around 8.3 now and dropping. Last week I did a show on the advantages of small businesses, and I encourage anyone, if you don't have a business, start one. Now is the time. Of course, we're going into tax season. And since you didn't start your business last year, you can't write off all of those things like I can this year. So you want to make sure that you get yourself a business started. You can contact me here at the studio on our national line, 866-826-1340. For those of you who are streaming in via the web, tantalk1340.com, and locally here, 727-441-3000. So, and I can tell you more information about that. There was something else plaguing me on my ride over here this morning, and I'm trying to figure out what it was. Wrong place to have a radio lapse, right? On the air? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll work it out. Last month, I've been doing some big things. I plan on bringing you more information to keep you aware of issues that matter most to your wallet. We have quite a few things going on. Last month, I started writing for Focus magazine. And if you are looking on the web, it's Focus. Oh, can you see? Okay. Focus magazine. South Tampa edition, and I will be one of their columnists every month, writing about financial issues, things that matter most to your wallet. Last month, I did an article on prepaid debit cards, and of course, I caught a bunch of flack for it, but I don't care. I'm a consumer advocate. Who cares? Give me heat. It makes me popular. I love it. But I said there's basically no reason for prepaid debit cards, and I caught a lot of heat from people telling me, well, there are people that can't get a prepaid debit card. There are people that can't even get a secured credit card. Okay, and you must not be breathing to not be able to get a secured credit card. Here's the math. $200 for the credit card, $200 deposit. Simple to me, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So to me, it's real simple. But I'm going to keep writing for Focus Magazine. And also, Ice Cold Air is in Focus Magazine. So if you are around the Tampa Bay area, pick up a copy this month, and you will see Ice Cold Air. Gotcha. You owe me big time. Ice Cold Air is in Focus Magazine, so you can read it and you can see the type of discounts they have. Like I said, later in the hour, we're really going to talk about Ice Cold Air and why they are, if they're not, they're going to be the number one vehicle maintenance service company in the Tampa Bay area. Right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So that's what we're looking at. We're going to make them number one because that's where they deserve to be. 40 years in the making, 40 plus years, and they have a dynamic CEO running the company. Love it. Love it. Bill, you're going to take me to a break or what? Do I have to beg for it or ask for it? You're a good guy, Bill. Hey, Tampa Bay, this is your host, S.C. Day. You know, here at the Legally Still Show, we don't stroke your ears with music, but we do leave your brain all satisfied with the climax of issues that matter most to your wallet. Tune in to us Saturdays at 8 a.m. where we'll discuss the pressing issues of the day. Only on the Legally Still Show, where we're bringing you issues that matter most to your wallet. That's Saturdays, 8 a.m. on the Tan Talk Network.
This is Matt Salmon of Lightning Radio. You don't need to be an NHL goalie to make great saves. As a member of Grow Financial Federal Credit Union, you'll make great saves every day. They've got low rates on credit cards and car loans, free banking services like free ATMs, and unlike the other guys, a free debit card with no debit card fees. Check out all the great saves at Grow Financial. I became a member 2 years ago, and you can become a member today. Grow Financial is federally insured by NCUA and is a proud sponsor of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Hey, this is S.C. Day, your host of the Legally Still Show. The other day, I stopped into one of the branches of Grow Financial Federal Credit Union, and they're doing something awesome. They have a big promotion where they're going to be giving away my best-selling book, The Negotiating Experience, Your Car Deal Your Way, to anyone who has opened an account with Grow. If you've listened to me, you know that I'm an advocate for credit unions, so make sure you call them, get you a copy of the book. Give me a call at the station here at the Tan Talk Network, and I'll make sure I get it autographed for you. Only on the Legally Still Show, where we're bringing you issues that matter most to your wallet, and with Grow Financial.
This is Ray Charles Jr., and when you want to know about consumer issues that matter most to your wallet, I listen to my man, S.C. Day, on the Legally Still Show.
Hey, Tampa Bay, this is S.C. Day, host of the Legally Still Show, your local consumer advocate nationwide. Listen, what's in a name? Take, for instance, the Legally Still Show. It's an oxymoron, basically two contradictory terms combined. Here's another example. Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair. A lot of people may think this company only repairs air conditioners. To the contrary, Ice Cold Air has been servicing vehicles for friends and neighbors for more than 40 years in the Tampa Bay area. Whatever your vehicle repair need is, from tune-ups to total engine replacement, Ice Cold Air can get you back on the road at a cost far less than any of their competitors. And you don't need a special coupon or a price match guarantee to get it done. Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair will beat any estimate of any of their competitors up to 50%. Stop by one of Ice Cold Air's 16 Bay Area locations and tell them SC sent you. You'll be glad you did, and I guarantee it.
So you put the brakes on that much-needed brake job for months. Or maybe your alternator has alternate plans. Is your exhaust system exhausted, or maybe your muffler doesn't muffle anymore? Whatever your car care need is, from tune-ups to total engine replacement, Ice Cold Air can get you back on the road at a very cool price. We have 17 Bay Area locations. Go to icecoldair.net to find the nearest location. Print out this month's special.
We may not be pretty, but we're cheap, cheap, cheap.
And we're back. This is S.C. Day, your host of the Legally Still Show, bringing you information that matters most to your wallet. Yeah, notice that Saturday sexy voice. I still got the coffee in my throat. Because here at the Legally Still Show, we don't stroke your ears with music, but we do leave your brain all satisfied with the climax of issues that matter most to your wallet. Now, how was that, Bill? I caught him sleeping. Okay.
Getting your next commercial break ready.
Okay. I've been talking about this month as Women of Influence Month. I am dedicating February, it's the month of love. And I thought that it would be a great idea to honor and pay respect to those women who are running things, who are in charge. I mean, the general manager here at the station, female, and handling things. We have today as our special guest in the studio, Mrs. Tina Denham. She is the president of Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair. Tina, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I am happy that you're here, and we're going to talk about how you came aboard and took charge of a 40-plus year company. Well, it probably wasn't 40-plus years when you took it, but
right.
We're 40-plus years now.
Right.
How you took charge of this company and you turned some things around.
Absolutely.
And this is an industry that's dominated by men. Okay, I was years ago, I know I don't talk much about this, but years ago when I was a young private, I was a certified vehicle mechanic in the military. And it's a dirty, greasy, nasty job that sometimes doesn't get the respect that it should get. But we kept people running. We kept those vehicles on the road. And in this industry, around the Tampa Bay area, Ice Cold Air is keeping vehicles on the road. And it's not just air conditioning. We'll talk about that later.
Right.
But if you would, tell us a little bit about Tina Denham and who she is and how she got to be head of Ice Cold Air.
Well, let's see. Well, I'm a Tampa native, first of all.
Okay.
I know. It's rare.
Yeah.
You can touch me if you want. It's all right.
She's real. She's real. And you can actually look at her behind the glass.
Yeah.
She's real.
But really how I got into Ice Cold Air is I started really in the marketing department and went into the operations side of it, and quickly realized that there was more to it than that. It wasn't just a marketing situation or operations, and really in this industry it's about image.
Absolutely.
So I realized that image is a choice and it starts on the inside.
Okay.
So what we did is we went ahead and from the inside actually made a lot of changes, cleaned it up from the inside, and I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that. And then when the opportunity came to head the company, I had built so much time into those relationships and building the company that I really wanted to see that through and make a company that's proud. So that's really how I ended up into that role, and it was really an evolution.
Evolution. So you came in and you took a business that was okay. When you took over the business,
Right.
what was the state of Ice Cold Air? Not into too much specifics because
Right.
I don't want anybody having a crosshair on my head, not yours, on mine. But what was the state of Ice Cold Air?
There'd actually been a lot of transition, a lot of things going on, and with Ice Cold Air, auto repair in general just is one of those type of suspect, fearful industries.
Absolutely.
And Ice Cold Air was no different. We had our own black eyes and things that needed to be cleaned, and that's where it came from, the cleaning of the inside of the company.
Okay.
So it was also a very competitive environment. Our stores were very all about them. Each one took care of themselves, and they didn't realize the benefit of having everyone together and cooperating and what that would do as far as making us all Ice Cold Air. And now we're like a big family, and that's been a really big part of what I feel I've added to it.
Right.
Is they really do realize now that every store impacts another store, and they work together on customer issues, whereas before it was the Wild West, it felt like, but now it's really it's beautiful.
Good. Now, in saying that, and I told you yesterday, we kind of got to divert a little bit, but nothing crazy. Was Ice Cold Air very female friendly back in the day?
No.
Pretty much like all the rest of the guys.
It's a bunch of guys, and
we're grimy, we're dirty. You come in, hey, how can I help you? I used to be a car salesman, okay, way back in the day, and I know how that industry was. It wasn't real appreciative of women coming in to buy vehicles, let alone coming in as saleswomen on the floor. Now, things have changed so much now, but it's good to see that an industry like this industry, the vehicle service, vehicle maintenance industry, being led by yourself, is changing the dynamics of the way business is done.
It is, and in fact, we actually have 2 women franchisees now.
Okay.
And that's new. I think that's been about 4 years ago. We got our first female franchisee. We have another one, and they're among our top performers. I think that there's something to that, not to discount the men out there.
All right, guys, pick it up.
But I think they can connect more with the women customers. We've also had women's car care clinics to try and bring the women in and show that it's not scary. You can touch the car. We'll show you things.
Right.
And I've worked with all of our franchisees and try to talk to them about how to connect with women and better communication skills and how to get the fear out of there.
Absolutely. Now, those of you who've been listening to me for, a couple of years now, know that I'm a consumer advocate, and I dig in. I want to meet people, and I don't tend to do business with folks that I don't follow their concept or I can't relate to what they're doing. I've met your franchisees, and it's a bunch of great people. They really are. And I like the fact of how you've stepped in and you've taken charge. And they're following your lead. I mean, you are the pretty girl of the industry. Come on now.
Yeah, it was challenging in the beginning, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I know when I came on board, I was looked at as the pretty girl with no industry experience,
nails,
clean
makeup,
nails.
there you go. Yeah.
And I could see the looks of what is she doing here, but I think that through commitment, loyalty, and dedication, and really what I promised and what I'm following through on is earning the respect of them, so I don't get it. Doesn't mean it doesn't still happen once in a while. I know when I interview people or something, they look at me like, "Who are you?" But I think that they're realizing what I'm trying to do with the company, and the results are showing now.
And it takes time.
It does. Change is hard in the beginning.
Absolutely.
And I'm different than anyone else that's been in this position in this company, and I think for a while they looked at me like I was a little crazy.
Well, I can relate, not from a female standpoint. Not from a female standpoint. Okay. But I can relate. Back when I was in the military, and being a young officer coming out of college, and almost immediately going into a war type syndrome, where you had guys that had been entrenched 20 years, who knew what they were doing, who knew all about the whole layout, some had served in Vietnam. So who was this young guy coming in out of college going to lead me where? So I understand some of those looks that you got, like, who is this lady?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see a smudge of oil, because you got to have some character, right? You got to have a little smudge of oil right here on your face. No oil, nails done. I mean, pretty and running thing.
But I tell you, when I walk into a shop and, they have a new technician, I walk right over to him and grab his hand and shake it, and he looks at me, he's like, no, you don't have to. And I'm like, honestly, it'll wipe off. It's fine. I don't have that kind of persona about me.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, it starts at the bottom. As far as, I need the technicians to hold me up, to hold the owners and the managers and all of that. So I have no problem with getting dirty. I just have to wash afterward. I'm all right.
Well, see, and honestly, that you put it perfectly. You can still be a lady with poise and run this type of company in this type of industry, and you're not afraid of getting your hands dirty.
Not at all.
Because there's oil and water. Soap, it'll wash off.
Yeah.
Good, love it. Now, how many locations do you have?
16.
16 locations. And they are within 5 counties?
5 counties.
5 counties.
Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus.
Now, the big thing, what makes ice cold air so interesting?
I think it's that each one of our locations are independently owned and operated by a single franchise owner in most cases. So you have someone from the community running a shop in the community. They live near the shop. They spend their money in the community. They go to the same grocery stores as their customers. Their customers then are their friends and neighbors. So there is that commitment to customer service because it's their reputation. They're going to run into that customer at the grocery store. They're not going to want to do something to harm that relationship. And again, that money goes right back into the community. We're not some big franchise nationwide thing. It's right in the community, and that's what makes us different.
Now, my understanding, and that's great, by the way, that's absolutely great because you're able to keep money within the community. And what I like about it most is you're being serviced by friends and neighbors. So the people that you see that will fix your car are the same people that will run into you in the grocery store. Love that concept. Now, to my understanding, can I come in and buy like 3 franchises?
Well, no. You can come in and talk to me about a franchise. A franchise. It's interesting. That's something else that's evolved. Is we used to be a company that would just kind of get a franchisee and do that, just hand them out because we needed that. We're very selective now.
Listen, stay tuned. You're listening to the Legally Still Show, where we're bringing you issues that matter most to your wallet. We'll be right back after the break.
CNN Radio, I'm Jim Ribble. Opposition groups say a massacre is underway in the city of Homs, Syria. They claim more than 200 people have been killed in the past day, but CNN's Mohammed Jamjoom tells us the Syrian government denies it.
There was a statement issued on Syrian state-run TV. They called it a media campaign that uses fabrication, falsehood, and escalation in order to effect a decision at the Security Council and cover crimes and attacks committed by armed terrorist groups.
We can't confirm the death reports because CNN is not allowed to report freely in Syria. The UN Security Council could vote today on a resolution calling on the Syrian government to stop the violence. The Nevada caucuses are being held tonight. Mitt Romney hopes to become the first Republican presidential candidate to win 2 state contests back-to-back after his Florida primary win earlier this week. The Justice Department is closing its criminal investigation of cycling champ Lance Armstrong without filing charges that he used performance-enhancing drugs. He's always denied the accusations. The most trusted name in news. This is CNN Radio.
You're tuned in to the Legally Still Show, Tampa Bay's most engaging consumer advocate talk show. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after the break.
This is Matt Salmon of Lightning Radio. You may think I'm a big, famous radio guy, but just like you, I don't like getting nickel and dimed by my bank. That's why I'm a member of Grow Financial Federal Credit Union. While the other guys are charging fees left and right, Grow Financial has free ATMs, a free debit card with no debit card fees, and low rates on credit cards and car loans. Become a member right now at growfinancial.org. Grow Financial is federally insured by NCUA and is a proud sponsor of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Hey Tampa Bay, this is S.C. Day, host of the Legally Still Show, your local consumer advocate nationwide. As a former Army certified vehicle mechanic, I know the importance of vehicle maintenance. I also know the rising costs of vehicle repairs and labor rates. At Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair, you don't have to worry about being overcharged on vehicle repair or labor rates. In fact, at Ice Cold Air, their signature labor rate is up to 50% off industry standards. Ice Cold Air has more than 40 years of experience at driving down the cost of vehicle repairs, and you can bring your own parts if you like. Listen, if you've ever had a vehicle repaired, then you know what I'm talking about. It's not the parts that cost you, it's the labor. Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair saves you money guaranteed. They've built a reputation of taking care of your vehicle repair needs and your peace of mind at the same time. Visit one of Ice Cold Air's 16 Bay Area locations today and tell them SC sent you. You'll be glad you did, and I guarantee that.
So you put the brakes on that much-needed brake job for months. Or maybe your alternator has alternate plans. Is your exhaust system exhausted, or maybe your muffler doesn't muffle anymore? Whatever your car care need is, from tune-ups to total engine replacement, Ice Cold Air can get you back on the road at a very cool price. We have 17 Bay Area locations. Go to icecoldair.net to find the nearest location. Print out this month's special.
We may not be pretty, but we're cheap, cheap, cheap.
We're back. This is SC of the Legally Steel Show. Thank you for listening to us this Saturday morning, February the 4th. I have our special guest in-house, Miss Tina Denham, and she's the president of Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair. Now, you notice I said Ice Cold Air. A lot of people, even though you've been in the area 40 years, 40 plus years, a lot of people still think you only do air conditioners.
That's true.
Okay. Now, I understand you didn't set the name for the company.
I didn't, and, we added the discount auto repair several years back to kind of combat that a little bit, because with the name for so many years, we couldn't just all of a sudden switch to, we do everything auto repair. So it's been one of those things that we've really tried to get that message out there, that we really are full service.
Yeah, branding is everything, and now our goal is to take that brand and enhance it where people know that you take care of things from tune-ups to total engine replacement.
Yes.
And I understand that you have some of your franchisees that are actually doing tires.
Yeah, we started that recently. We have 6 locations now that do tires, and hopefully we can probably within the next year have most, if not all of them, do tires, so that we're really full service. You don't need to go anywhere else.
Okay, now I know you heard the president say you really don't need to go anywhere else, but there's another incentive. I think across the commercial break you heard me say something like 50% off of other people's rates or something like that.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
But your slogan is like cheap, 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 right?
It is. Yeah, we tout we may not be pretty, but we're cheap, 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 and that's really to let our customers know that we're not the frilly dealer with the smoothie machines, where you're paying for them
Nail
to have
salon,
your Wi-Fi and your this and your that.
Hair comb.
Yep. But exactly. But we've got clean shops, qualified techs, and cheap prices. But we're not going to have a smoothie machine that we have to pay for, that you have to pay for. And that's really how we do it.
And I can tell you, I actually have an agreement with Tina that if there's a customer out there and they have an issue, and I'm on the airwaves and you call me up, I can call her.
Yep.
Honey, she may be answering the phone. Okay. But she says this is how dedicated she is to Ice Cold Air and making sure that customer service is number one. I can call her if somebody is calling with a complaint. That I like about it. Now, you do hear, we may not be pretty, but we're cheap, 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 cheap. But I'll tell you, there's nothing cheap about what they do, except the prices. That's the only thing that's cheap. They have good quality customer service. Okay, they have extreme high quality professionalism, and they believe in servicing your vehicle and taking care of the bottom line, making sure that, here's the deal. People don't really go to car service places to have a latte.
No.
Okay? They're not going there to have their nails done or, do business. The bottom line is when somebody comes to your shop, they're coming into your shop to leave your shop. Your goal in fixing their vehicles is, when you solve a problem, you're solving that mother going to the grocery store. That's what she wants to do, go to the grocery store. She doesn't want to hang out in your shop.
No, she wants to pick up her kids.
Absolutely.
All of those things, yeah.
The guy going to his business meeting, he's not really wanting to hang out and say, hi, let me do some Wi-Fi. I want to go to my business meeting.
Right.
So if you can fix my car, I'm going on my merry way. Well, listen, we're going to be doing things around town here coming up. I want to do a live remote from one of the locations because I want to get a feel. I want to get a feel for what's going on. I want to hear some of the customers and what they have to say because I'm putting my name on it. I say Ice Cold Air is number one, and if you're not, we're going to be. So the other guys out there, watch out. Watch out. Now, there's something that I want to ask. Since you told me I can't own like 3 or 4 franchises, fine. Fine.
Certainly not initially. We have gotten selective, and
that's good.
I like to make sure that we have the right people in there.
Absolutely, it's fairness across the board. I like that. Now, what do you see for Ice Cold Air down the road? What do you want? I mean, do you want another 30 franchises? Do you want what? Tell me what you want.
Well, I'd love another 30 franchises, but I actually like a growth of one store per year.
Okay.
Possibly two, depending on how that goes. But, several years ago, we had a big growth spurt, and I think that also caused some of the problems with being able to make sure customers
Right.
are taken care of or that we had the right people in the stores. I would rather grow slower and make sure that I'm, hands-on and with who we're putting in there and the staff than have this big growth plan and end up causing more problems with the existing franchisees.
Well, that's smart business.
Yeah.
That's smart business. You don't want to outgrow yourself, and you want to manage growth as you get bigger and bigger. Any particular areas that you're looking at expanding into? Because what I'm trying to do, people, here's a business opportunity. Okay, I am small business advocate. I believe in small businesses. So what I'm trying to do is find an area for you to, if you want to Ice Cold Air franchise, you can give us a call here at the studio, 727-441-3000, and you can talk to Tina right here on the air. So back to you, Tina.
Well, we're in those 5 counties, so there's plenty of room in those 5 counties already.
Mm-hmm.
We've experimented. We went over to the over to Cocoa Beach for one store at one point, and I really think it's better when we're more condensed, where we can support each other, where we have stores that if you're having an issue with one store, we can have another store help you, like if it's a diagnostic or something like that. So I like having those community networks so close together. So I prefer to stay in the same 5 counties, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't go down to Sarasota or Bradenton or something like that. But we just haven't ventured that far when there's so much opportunity still in this area.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, because we're talking about this area is still growing, and more cars are on the road. Now, you and I had an interesting conversation about warranties.
Okay.
Okay? And this was something that most people don't know. I mean, most people in the industry doesn't know this. But Ice Cold Air can service warranted vehicles, correct?
Correct.
So if I buy my car at this franchise dealer, and a year later, even though my car is under my 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty, I can come to Ice Cold Air and have my car serviced under that warranty?
Yes, you can. You can take your car, and really that's just how it works with the Magnus Moss. You can take your car anywhere and get serviced, and it does not impact your warranty. But we can do everything the dealer can do, but cheaper. So for us and for you, it's a benefit that we can help you take care of your vehicle. And I think a lot of people do, because I know I felt that way many years ago when I bought a new car. I was like, I have to go to the dealer.
Absolutely.
And it's just, and they try and make it feel like you have to go to the dealer, and the prices are so high.
Right.
That I think that's just, something I like people to know that, so they save a little bit of money. You're already paying a car payment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I talked with a lady, and she was telling me that she had bought this new car. It was a leased vehicle. And, of course, every time she needed her oil change, of course, she's going back to the dealership.
Mm-hmm.
But every time that she came in, they were adding fluids and all this other stuff, where every time she went, she was leaving paying $116 to get her oil changed.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, yeah, we can
I've
laugh
had
at
those bills before.
So Ice Cold Air, and this is another reason that I wanted you on the show, so we could actually dispel all of the myths and talk about Ice Cold Air and what Ice Cold Air really does. So you're talking about, not only are you servicing vehicles from start to finish, you can keep them running, rebuild engines, but you can also take care of warranties.
Right.
Okay.
Extended warranties.
Extended warranties. Now, people, you got to understand that this is, if you've, like I said in my little commercial spot, if you've ever had a car repaired, it's not the parts. It's the labor that costs you. Now, something else, it made me think. Parts. Now, I understand everybody is trying to make money on every corner that they can. But you're telling me that if I want to bring my own rack and pinion down to Ice Cold Air, I can do that?
Yes. We are one of the few that you can bring your own parts, and you can pay the labor, and we will install your own parts.
Okay. Now, I hope you are listening to this. You can come down, bring your own part. That way, because some people, I years ago, I used to hear people talk about, well, I don't know if they changed my part or not. Mm-hmm. Seems like they just fixed my car a little bit so I can be coming back to the dealership to get my car fixed again. Right. You're telling them you can bring your own part.
Yes, bring your own part. And back to you don't know if we replaced your parts. You can always request to have your parts given back to you that we've removed. If you are anytime unsure about that, just ask. When you drop your car off, I'd like my parts. We have no problem with that.
Why would anybody go anywhere else?
That's a mystery to me, too.
My producer's saying, hey, look, it's $25 an hour. That's dirt cheap.
45.
It's 45.
Used to be 25, though. That's how we started.
But still, $45 is, the average rate is about $90, $95, somewhere around there?
Yeah. Even some of the dealers are even more than that. But
yeah, 105, yeah, I know.
Your other independents and whatnot are going to be 90.
I actually wrote in my book about something called a manifold air pressure sensor, a MAP sensor.
Right.
And how this dealership went to this dealership. It was a Chevy dealership. It was my car, so I can talk about it. It was a Chevy dealership, and my MAP sensor went bad. And when I went to the dealership, they told me that it would take them an hour and a half, because that's the way they would charge it, 1.5 hours.
Right.
And at that time, this was 20 years ago, at that time, labor rates, were $85 an hour. So they were telling me for a $40 part, okay, they were going to charge me 1.5 hours to change it. All it took was, it was mounted to the frame of the car with one bolt. Okay, it had 2 attachments to it and the harness. That was it. It took me 10 minutes to do it. 10 minutes to do it, and they were going to charge me 1.5 hours to get it done. Ice Cold Air doesn't do stuff like that, right?
No. Okay. We'll install it for you, and our $45 an hour labor rate, we'll just try and make it simple for you and save you some money.
You're going to save a lot of money at $45 an hour.
Well, and our thing is, we're not in it to just get your money once, charge you as much as possible, and then you never come back. I would rather save you money every time and you come back 10 times than to have you once and I've gotten all your money in one fell swoop. That's not what I want.
See?
Or my franchisees.
This is excellent customer service. Excellent customer service. I want you back for the long haul. I want to be doing business relationship with you for the long time, not just a short time, not the one time. Absolutely wonderful. Listen, we're going to take a short break, and we will be back to wrap up the show. Stay tuned.
So you put the brakes on that much-needed brake job for months. Or maybe your alternator has alternate plans. Is your exhaust system exhausted, or maybe your muffler doesn't muffle anymore? Whatever your car care need is, from tune-ups to total engine replacement, Ice Cold Air can get you back on the road at a very cool price. We have 17 Bay Area locations. Go to icecoldair.net to find the nearest location. Print out this month's special.
We may not be pretty, but we're cheap, cheap, cheap.
Hey Tampa Bay, this is S.C. Day, host of the Legally Steel Show, your local consumer advocate nationwide. Listen, what's in a name? Take, for instance, the Legally Steel Show. It's an oxymoron, basically 2 contradictory terms combined. Here's another example. Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair. A lot of people may think this company only repairs air conditioners. To the contrary, Ice Cold Air has been servicing vehicles for friends and neighbors for more than 40 years in the Tampa Bay area. Whatever your vehicle repair need is, from tune-ups to total engine replacement, Ice Cold Air can get you back on the road at a cost far less than any of their competitors. And you don't need a special coupon or a price match guarantee to get it done. Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair will beat any estimate of any of their competitors up to 50%. Stop by one of Ice Cold Air's 16 Bay Area locations and tell them SC sent you. You'll be glad you did, and I guarantee it.
If you need any kind of financial advice or you want to know how to get the best deal possible, what you need to do is listen to my man, S.E. Day, on the Legally Steel Show.
This is Matt Salmon of Lightning Radio. You don't need to be an NHL goalie to make great saves. As a member of Grow Financial Federal Credit Union, you'll make great saves every day. They've got low rates on credit cards and car loans, free banking services like free ATMs, and unlike the other guys, a free debit card with no debit card fees. Check out all the great saves at Grow Financial. I became a member 2 years ago, and you can become a member today. Grow Financial is federally insured by NCUA and is a proud sponsor of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
We're back for the wrap-up of our hour. We've been talking to Mrs. Tina Denham of Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair. She's the president there, and she's really put out some really cool information about Ice Cold Air if you didn't know about it. We're going to make sure that we get this podcast for you, so you'll be able to listen to it later. And that way, if anything ever comes up, you can say, nope, I heard it there on the Legally Steel show. I heard it there. Now, Tina, there were a couple of things that you wanted to, as we wrap up the show, you wanted to talk about some of the things that Ice Cold Air is committed to.
We are committed to customer service, first and foremost. One of the important things is every one of our customers, after they leave our shop, will get a customer survey card in the mail. And we encourage everyone to fill those out, be candid, send them in. Every one of those goes on my desk.
Wow.
I review every single one of them. And if there is an issue, it goes directly to the owner. I send it to them, and then I follow up on it, because we do want the owners to take care of them more than just have the franchise jump in
exactly.
and take care of it. But I make sure that they're handled, they're tracked, and we do everything possible when we can to help with a resolution.
Now, you encourage the customer base to talk with their owner managers or owners at the stores, right?
Yes. The best way is really for the customers to contact the stores. And really, when you walk into one of our stores, most of the time, the owner is the one right at the counter. So you've got the direct line to the person in charge. He owns that location, again, back to his reputation and being in the community. So that's really the best way to deal with anything. But again, if there's ever any issues, I see them all.
That's wonderful. It's not one of these major corporation things where it's so big that we got to go through a customer service center and then through a complaint department.
Right.
We actually go right to the owner or the president of the franchise.
Absolutely.
Listen, people, you heard it here. Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair. It's Saturday morning. I know you need your oil change. I know. I can smell it. I smell your car. Go to one of their 16 Bay Area locations this morning and get things done. Get things done to your car, for your car, to keep you rolling, keep you mobile. Tina, it was a pleasure having you here this morning. I do want to have one of the franchisees on. We have National Car Care Month coming up.
It's in April.
In April. Okay. I would love to have franchisees, if you're listening in this morning.
They're going to be calling me. I want to do it.
I want to have someone on the air so we can talk about National Car Care Month and some preventative things of what people need to do. We have a caller on the line. Brandon, how are you doing today?
Her name is Beverly from Brandon.
She's Beverly from Brandon. Okay, Beverly, I am fine this morning. And yourself?
I'm great. How are you all?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. See, you have a question for Tina.
Yes. Tina, if I came into your store and requested to speak with you, are you available there? From what time?
Well, our store, I'm not actually, I do go to each of the stores, but I'm not in a specific store at any time because I'm handling, the franchise operations for all of them. But if you need to speak with me, then, you can contact one of our stores and they can get your information, and I can call you if you want to talk directly to me about an issue.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
Well, Beverly,
are you all?
You can give me a call here at the studio.
But it's hard to say. I go to all the stores, check everything on site, so I don't have specific hours at a specific store at any time.
Right. And it's kind of difficult to give out the number because each one of the stores is its own independent franchise.
Correct.
So they have their own numbers.
Correct.
Okay. But you can find them on the net.
Yes, you can go to our website or our Facebook page. Our website's icecoldair.com.
Okay.
And we're Facebook Ice Cold Air Discount Auto Repair, which you can also get from our website.
So the information is out there. Again, give us a call here at studio, 1-866 on the national line, 826-1340, or you can hit us up on the local line, 727-441-3000. We've had Mrs. Tina Denham in the studio this morning talking about Ice Cold Air and for our women of influence, how she actually took over the company and is making great strides and going to make this company the only company in the Tampa Bay area that you need to have your car serviced at, right?
Absolutely.
Again, thank you for being on. We have quite a few things coming up here in the next few months. I've been toying with the issue of creating a IP television show, and we're going to go forward with it. So in April, we're looking at launching the Issues on the Street. That's going to be in conjunction with the Legally Still show. So you'll be hearing the radio show, of course, 8 a.m., excuse me. We also have our 11 a.m. time, which is on Blog Talk Radio. Now, at some point down the road, I'm going to mesh those two together. But the reason I still have the distance is, or in the time, is because sometimes I have celebrities on who are calling out of California, 3-hour time difference. If I had them on at 8 o'clock in the morning here, it'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning there, or 5 o'clock. They wouldn't be happy.
No.
So we're going to have the 11 o'clock show, Blog Talk Radio, and eventually we're going to start simulcasting both of those shows. But in April, sometime in April, we're going to launch Issues on the Street. And what Issues on the Street is going to be about is, for instance, we may go out to one of Ice Cold Air's places and pop the camera down and say, okay, we want to talk to your customers. You don't mind. What is your issue today? Mm-hmm. And then we will have that on camera. We'll be running it on the web so people can see what's going on. We're also going to take that around the country. So it's not just going to be a local Tampa thing. It's going to be around the country. Some people have talked to us about Occupy Wall Street, and we're going to be part and partial. We're going to go wherever the issues on the street are. It doesn't make a difference if it's Occupy Wall Street or if it's the White House, if I can get in there. Secret Service probably won't let me in.
Just use the proper channels, will you?
Proper channel. Okay. But our goal is to go around the nation with issues on the street, and because right now we're in a pivotal time. This is a big election year, and here on the show I don't talk politics, but I do talk about issues that matter most to your wallet. So we're going to be approaching issues. We're going to talk about the fading middle class. The fading middle class. Oh, wow, I still got you here. Good point. I'm glad I said that. Who is your ideal target? I know you want everybody with a car.
That's my ideal target.
Okay. There it is then. Everybody with a car, go buy Ice Cold Air to get your car serviced.
I am not selective.
There
if you've got a car, we can help you.
It doesn't make a difference if it's a Mercedes, if it's a BMW, if it's do they still have Yugos running? You hadn't seen one, have you? I haven't seen one. Okay, all right.
I saw a Gremlin yesterday.
Oh, jeez. That car's like 50 years old, right? But these are good things. And please look for more to come from us as we explore issues that matter most to your wallet. Next week, we have coming up another local favorite. Her name is Tammy Levent. She is of Elite Travel. She's been awarded just like a worldwide awards from American Express. She's top in the travel business, and she's going to be our guest and talking about her new series coming up, and it's called Whip Shops. Okay, it's a funny story, but I'll wait till next week to discuss that story. But it's Whip, WHIP. Whip It. It's actually Whip It. Okay, so of course that can lead a lot of things for the mind to run and play with, but it's actually women have infinite power in themselves. Great initials for it.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure you say that because Tammy carries around a little whip.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah. So that's next week as we have her on. We've also extended an invitation to, I hate to put it out there because I'll be so hurt if it doesn't happen. But anyway, we've extended an invitation to the First Lady to come on to the show. One of the things that we're looking at is her joining forces. It's the initiative to put veterans, over 100,000 veterans, to work in partnership with the private sector. And those of you who know that I'm a vet, it's something that I favor. It's something that I push. So I would love to have an interview with the First Lady, even if it's pre-recorded. So this show is going out all over the world right now, even if it's pre-recorded, so anybody hears or knows it. I have people there, actually in the White House, but sometimes it's trying to get that pull, and she is the First Lady, so she might be a little busy.
Just a little.
But you can go on Jay Leno. Don't kick me out just because I'm a little guy. Okay, you can go on Jay Leno. I want you here on the Legally Steel show because we're talking about issues that matter most to your wallet, not 20,000 cars in a garage. Anyway, I'm ranting and raving this morning. I tried to get away from it and stay focused, but I just want you to know I'm important too down here in Tampa. And since the RNC is going to be here, you might want to be on the air with me down here. But who am I?
Just a suggestion.
Just a suggestion. Listen, thank you for tuning in to the Legally Steel Show. We're going to get this thing podcast. You can always go to our website, legallysteelshow.com.